All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachakorash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim. Walk them, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, and I'll try to make this real quick. I was just reading something in the book of Joshua, and it reminded me of this is I got this movie up, it's called Berserk, the Golden Age. The battle for Daldry. Now, what I was just reading out of the book of Joshua chapter 8 was literally in this movie. It's a part of a anime. That's real popular. Hey, I like it. I think it's pretty good. But basically, the scenes that happened in this movie, one of the major component of this movie, dealing with this military trying to take down a castle, was literally torn almost line from line out of this chapter in Joshua chapter 8. All right. I was just reading it. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, this is literally, the scene started flashing in my head. All right. Because there's a certain, you listen to the elders and apostles when they're out there on the highways and byways. There's a saying that, brothers be saying that these Hollywood movie directors, these actors, all right, they get the inspiration for their best movies literally comes straight out of the scriptures. And I'm just gonna read these verses out of Joshua. All right, and if you want to see what I'm talking about, you can go and watch this movie. All right, if you when you read, uh, I'm gonna draw a demonstration so you can see it. But when you read through these couple verses and then you go watch this movie, it literally plays out beyond identical, like literally word for word. At least when it gets to the point of the invasion, all right. Because the guys on the left, if you can see here on the bottom left of this picture, that's the main characters. That's their army being led by the guy on the white horse. All right. So and they were invading that castle in the back that you can see, and it literally. I'm gonna have to get it now. It goes down verse for verse, word for word, in the movie, showing you that these directors, hey, they know the scriptures are true. They know that to make the best, most compelling movies, all right, you can just turn to the scriptures. All right, some of the major movies that we know of that were cinema blockbusters, themes of forbidden love. You have uh, the how King David was. All right, things with giant creatures, Godzilla and King Kong. All right, Leviathan and Behemoth. All these major blockbuster movies, they're nothing but the scriptures with a little bit of a twist on them. All right, so now this is Joshua chapter 8. I'm going to be starting at verse 6. It's going to be a little bit of a read. All right, but this is basically dealing with Joshua. He was about to take the kingdom of Ai. All right, however it's pronounced AI. Ai. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. All right. So jumping down to Joshua chapter 8 and verse I'm gonna start at 1 real quick. It says, "And the Lord said unto Joshua, Fear not, neither be thou dismayed. Take all the people of war with thee. Arise, go up to Ai. See, I have given them. See, I have given into the hand. Slakia. See, I have given into thy hand the king of Ai and his people and his city and his land, and thou shalt do to Ai and her king as thou didst unto Jericho and her king. Only the spoil thereof and the cattle thereof shall ye take for a prey unto yourselves. Lay thee in ambush for the city behind it." So he told him, take the city, lay an ambush. The only things that you let come out alive is the cattle. Kill everything else. All right, so now we're going to jump down to verse 6. It says, "For they will come out before us till we have drawn from the city, for they will say, They flee before us, as at the first, therefore we will flee before them." All right, and when you read in the chapter previous, they tried to go take this kingdom, but they had got pushed. They had got their asses whooped, the Israelites, because we had a nigga in the midst with an idol, with a false idol. So the Lord calls us to lose the first battle. So they said that they were going to send the soldiers again, and pretend like they were going to be fleeing from them. All right, verse 7. It says, then ye shall rise up from the ambush and seize upon the city, for the Lord your power will deliver it into your hand. And it shall be, when ye have taken the city, that ye shall set the city on fire, according to the commandment of the Lord shall ye do. See, I have commanded you. So we were to lay an ambush on one side, send soldiers before the city, and when the enemy soldiers came out, send our soldiers to take off running. Then when all their guys come out, our other guys on the side would come in and destroy. That was the game plan. All right, showing you that we're not a bunch of idiots. Our people were master tacticians. All right, this is real life military tactics that could work. All right, let's say you have you and 10 guys, and you have the enemy, and let's say is you're 10 guys versus 50 guys. You can send 5 of your guys at their headquarters, and when they get too close, have them turn around and run, and freaking 30, maybe 30 to 45 of their guys are all going to come running out chasing them. And when they get far enough, you send your other 5 to go in and take everything. This is actual tactics that get practiced up until this very day by many different militaries. All right, literally ambushing. All right, hell, even wolves in nature do it. Now, verse 9, it says, Joshua therefore sent them forth, and they went to lie in ambush and abode between Bethel and Ai, on the west side of Ai. But Joshua lodged that night among the people. So the ambush was set on the west side. All right, keep that in mind. All right, so now we're going to go, I'm going to jump down to, let me see. Let me jump down, because I don't want to have y'all, I don't want to be reading the whole thing. Jake be getting bored. All right, so now 13. It says, and when they had set the people, even all the host that was on the north of the city, and their liars and wait on the west of the city, Joshua went that night into the midst of the valley. So, okay, matter of fact, let me come back up to 11, Salakia. And all the people, even the people of war that were with him, went up and drew nigh and came before the city, and pitched on the north side of Ai. Now there was a valley between Ai, between them and Ai. All right, so now let me draw this out so y'all can see what I'm saying. All right, so this is the city. All right, you got the north, south, west, and east. All right, this is where the liars in wait were, and this is the north gate of the city up top, and this is where the valley was, and this is where Joshua and the soldiers were. All right, so the game plan was to come in from the north, and when these retarded heathens when these retarded heathens all leave, everyone from the west is going to come in and take the city. And it literally plays out directly the same in that movie, showing you, hey, look, everything we say, we don't just be out there on the line talking. All right, oh, matter of fact, let me get this real quick. Let me get this. Kind of perfect. This is 1 John chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, but ye have an unction from the Holy One, and ye know all things. All right, I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. All right, so we know the truth. We know these things. We get unctions from the Heavenly Father, all right, from His Son. And seeing certain things in the world happen, seeing certain movies, seeing certain events go down, we can relate it to the Scriptures, and we can see how Esau Edom has stolen things from the Scriptures and tried to benefit from it. All right, whether it be through money or through his lies. Matter of fact, I'll get this real quick. And this devil made money off of Joshua chapter 8 by putting it in a movie. Rather than giving the glory to the Lord, he put it in a movie so he can make profit through it. All right, Job chapter 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? All right, and when you look at this picture, they cover in the face of the judges. In Joshua chapter 8, this dude on the left ain't here. Ain't no Edomite with blue eyes supposed to be there. Ain't no bitch supposed to be there. All right, you got my man Guts on the right. You know, he could pass for he could pass for Northern Kingdom. You know, Issachar or one of the tribes. All right, but this was supposed to be all dark-skinned people going to war. No women in the midst and no Edomites in the mix. All right, and this is how this devil likes to lie and paint everything. But hey, like that scripture says, we have an unction from the Holy One, so we can see through the lies. All right, we don't get on YouTube and just be talking out of our heads. Everything that we say can be backed up and proven by scriptures through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, so now let me come back to this Joshua chapter 8. I didn't even plan to get those scriptures. That's just how the Lord be doing it. All right, so Joshua chapter 8. So now we know, them fools is about to come out of the north and the troopers sweep in from the west. All right, so now let's see. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, and all the people that were in Ai were called together to pursue after them. So they went through the north, and they pursued after Joshua and were drawn away from the city. So they went through the north gate and were drawn out. All right, jumping down to 18. And the Lord said unto Joshua, stretch out the spear that is in thy hand toward Ai, for I will give it into thine hand. And Joshua stretched out the spear that he had in his hand toward the city. And this verse right here literally happened almost identical. When the leader of the good guys gave the signal, what happened? Verse 19. And the ambush arose quickly out of their place, and they ran as soon as he had stretched out his hand. And they entered into the city and took it, and hasted and set the city on fire. And that's exactly what they did in the movie. When the main leader gave off the signal, the people in the ambush came around the side, went in, took the city, and literally killed everyone in it and set it on fire. And then, verse 20. And when the men of Ai looked behind them, they saw, and behold, the smoke of the city ascended up to heaven, and they had no power to flee this way or that way. And the people that fled to the wilderness turned back upon the pursuers. And when Joshua and all Israel saw that the ambush had taken the city, and that the smoke of the city ascended, then they turned again and slew the men of Ai. All right, and when you keep reading, it lets you know that the Israelites that were in the front with Joshua and the Israelites that were in the castle that had just took it, they all closed in around them and destroyed all of them. All right, and you see that happen in that movie word for word. When those heathens, when they looked back and saw their city on fire, they were panicked. And then both lines of the Israelites, let me come back over here, both lines, the west line that came into the gate and the north line up here with Joshua, the rest of the soldiers, they encircled them and completely destroyed them. All right, and this scene literally happens almost word for word in the scriptures. As a matter of fact, if I can find a clip of it on YouTube, I'll just upload that, in case you don't want to go watch the whole movie. But if you want to go see what I'm talking about, check out the movie. Matter of fact, let me see if I can if I find the little clip, I'll leave the link of it in the description. But that's basically it on that. I just wanted to show you how these devils, they get their inspiration from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai just as we do. They just do it on the left-hand side. They don't want to admit that there is a higher power. They don't want to admit how much that they actually don't know. They just want to pretend like they're the ones that are in the power seat and that by their great and glory, by their greatness and by their glory, they do everything, which is an absolute lie. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem R'Chakurash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wak Wathim, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.